What's up, guys? Demi here with Youth and Vitality, giving you weight loss, beauty, wellness tips that are all amazing, of course. So I want to talk today about how to hack your metabolism and what you don't know, okay? So I like to start off talking about the overall goals as far as body fat, men versus women. So men, based off medical perfect, if everything can be perfect, men are going to be around 18% body fat and women are going to be around 28% body fat. Okay, and the reason this is important is I want to explain to you why men have such an easier time losing weight. A lot of us already know that, where women are going at one rate and men are going at double the rate. And it's like, why is that? Why is that? Okay, so this is where I'm going with this. So men are 18%, women are at 28%. So when things are perfect, when everything is healthy and amazing, women have on average 10% more fat on their bodies compared to men. Then you take a look at overall muscle mass for men versus women, right? And men are on average going to have more muscle than women. That's just on average the way that it goes, right? And so this difference of how much muscle you have versus how much fat you have is the key to men's quickness in their metabolisms, okay? Because the comparison of how much muscle you have to how much fat you have in a lot of ways equals how fast your metabolism is functioning. Now, why is this so important? Because women, a lot of times, we just go off the number, right? We step on the scale, we're like, this is my number. I need to be at, whatever it is, 140, 150, 120, whatever your number is, right? And we don't even, a lot of times, stop to think about, is that all fat that we're losing? It just matters what the scale says, right? So a lot of times women will lose muscle mass, unfortunately, doing these low calorie starvation programs where it kind of makes sense to you, right? Where you're like, okay, well, if I starve myself, my body will be forced to burn the fat that I have, right? That makes sense, except your body's super smart. Your body's not going to access its emergency savings account, so easily. So when you lose muscle mass and, let's say it's 50-50. Let's say you're losing equally fat and muscle. So if you lose 2 pounds a week, 1 pound is fat, 1 pound is muscle. You are slowing your metabolism down every pound of muscle that you lose. So when you start to do anything that isn't the version of a drastic diet, you're going to gain weight. And the reason is because your metabolism does two really important things. It's your body's response time. So if you were to exercise, if you were to do anything, your body's going to be really slow to respond to it if you have a slow metabolic rate. And then the other reason that's important is because with a slow metabolic rate, your body is going to hoard, in a sense, the energy you give it, which is your meals. Even if those meals are overall healthy, you may find yourself gaining weight very quickly. And then this becomes a super discouraging process, confusing process. And so how do you make sure this doesn't happen? You don't do any sort of a program that's going to put your lean muscle at risk. Make sure you have a scale or a coach, someone that is, going to monitor your muscle mass for you, or you can monitor it at home. Obviously, with the pandemic and everything, going and seeing people is a little bit discouraged and more complicated right now, but there are lots of at-home coaching options, myself included. I do a lot of remote coaching and things like that, but tracking your muscle mass at home is totally possible. You want to make sure you're eating the right amount of lean protein for your specific amount of lean muscle. You want to make sure you're eating enough healthy fats, and all of those things combined together is basically how you hack your metabolism. And the biggest takeaway from this video is the more muscle you have and the less fat you have, the faster your metabolism will become. So most of my clients will start with me really focused on getting to a specific number, and as we progress through their journey, while they're seeing the results that they wanted to see, they also kind of shed away this deep attachment to the overall number, because they just become more focused on how is my muscle mass this week, how is my body fat this week, what's my visceral fat level. If you don't know what visceral fat is deep inside belly fat that is wedged in between your vital organs, and it affects your heart the most. A lot of people are aware that heart disease is the #1 killer of women, but a lot of us don't know that a lot of that has to do with the fact that hormonally and metabolically, we start storing this deep inside belly fat at extremely fast rates. And that all has to do with your metabolism and how quickly your metabolism is functioning. So the more you can understand metabolic rate and how that overall plays into your health, it's crazy how fast, when you focus on these things all together, your body can reboot itself and respond. Depending on where you start, it may take a couple weeks, it may take, a couple months, but if you're consistent, you will feel and see the differences in ways that make you look back at other things that you've done, other ways that you've lost weight, and be able to recognize the differences in how you felt and the way that you looked, and how easy it is to maintain yourself. That's the #1 judge, is that when you're done, can you go back to your normal lifestyle? If your normal lifestyle was, eating fast food every day, nobody can go back to that, but you should be able to go back to like a 50-50 mentality where, you can enjoy, you don't have this focus on food. 50-50 mentality for me is balancing higher carb type meals with lower carb, lean protein type meals. Metabolisms love that. Also focusing on blood sugar, making sure you're not accidentally just causing constant blood sugar spikes. Those are all things that you can do to hack your metabolism. So I'm going to continue to attempt to put my brain on this YouTube channel. So if you guys are enjoying these, basically little YouTube coaching sessions, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys are struggling with. Let me know, main things, especially with this ever-changing world we're in. I feel like I'm evolving with you guys on how to motivate, how to support the new struggles that are present. And the main ones that I'm finding are emotional. So if you're having a hard day, if you feel, discouraged, you just know that you're not alone. Everybody coming in here that I'm still coaching in person, all of my remote people, it's like there's a community that you guys aren't even really aware that I feel like you have, because I hear the same things over and over, and it's just a hard time. So start with something small, even if that step is education, and just learning more about blood sugar, learning more about the role of insulin, learning more about metabolic rates, and trying to think about weight loss in a different way, because I'm in a chiropractor's office, if you guys don't know, and I see a lot of the doctor's patients that can't exercise, have a back injury, have a knee injury, have something like that going on, but they need to lose weight in a healthy way, and they come to me and say, how is this possible? And I explain these things to them, and I help their bodies get into a safe place of burning fat for energy. And in order to do that, you have to know your body, you have to protect your muscles, you have to understand your history on if you're someone who has done a lot of low calorie, not eating very much type programs, if you've noticed hormonally things have changed, if you just haven't been very active, those are all things that are going to potentially slow your metabolism. So taking it one step at a time and, not being too hard on yourself. But I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank ya.